Okay, so here's what's going on. I did a little bit of sanding with my Fest tool, just 600 grit. Um, Ash has these has this weird high-low grain. You may not be able to even get ash where you are, but we have tons of it because of a bug that killed a lot of trees. Here's a microfiber cloth from Harbor Freight, and so you can see it's hazy and clean. It does a great job of getting in and lifting the dust. I'm not going to pop this with water and do all these things. This is just a quick, see how fast I can make a pair of legs for a dresser kind of thing. Taken a while because I've had other projects I had to do, but I'm just showing you that this is how long this stuff takes. I'm just going to wipe this one right on the board. The dust might even help to kind of smooth out some of the roughness in the ash. So this is a rag from a box of rags box. This is just a screwdriver. This is General Finishes Candlelight Stain. I call it Mid-Century Modern in a can. It just has the perfect brown tone to look like kind of that combination of faded walnut, but also it has a kind of a warmth or a patina that ends up looking like that a lot of times. A lot of these things. You want to mix it up. I'm just going to use a screwdriver since I forgot to bring a mixing brush or stick or anything. It's a gel stain, so it looks like chocolate pudding when you're mixing it around. And it's a wipe-on stain. So I'm going to use this for an applicator, this rag in a box rag. If you take care of it, you make sure you close the lid. It's oil-based. It seems to last just forever. So you can get a small can. It's not cheap, but it does a little bit goes a long ways, and I'm a big fan of the General Finishes quality. So I'm just going to clean the screwdriver off. This is now my applicator. Set the screwdriver aside. So what you want to do is kind of smear it on generously. Set this down, looks stable. You want to smear this on generously and then wipe it back after it sits for a while. There's a urethane in it, so it is, but it's a very soft urethane, so you will definitely want to put a top coat over it of some kind. If you're in a hurry, you probably just spray a can of shellac on it. Shellac's a great finish. Not the most durable, but it dries very quickly, so it would get you your furniture out into the world that much faster. All right, I'm just going to let that one hang around while I work on the next one. I put some cork pads on here. I should have actually just gone ahead and sealed the legs, stained them and sealed them, and then put the pads on that, but it is what it is. At this point. This gel stain, from what I understand, it was actually designed to go onto fiberglass doors, so you could get a wood grain on a piece of fiberglass. So it just hangs out on the surface. And so because of that, if you wanted to do multiple coats, you could darken this stuff up by just adding layers. I thought about mixing it with Java to go a little bit darker, but I figure this will be pretty close. I guess that's a question for people. Do you like your dresser legs to contribute something, or do you want them to just be darker so they don't attract attention other than being tapered in mid-century style? So I'm going with the grain. Grain runs this way, those are the lines. Making sure I fill in, I'm trying to hard to kind of push it into the pores. Last one. So yeah, just grab a small blob, put it on your applicator. So if you wipe it, you'll see that you get these light spots if you don't saturate it. So you really have to shove it into certain species of woods if you're going to do a stain. Um, with dry wood, the gel stain is going to soak in more. Um, but if you're touching it up, like you're using it to go onto something like quick wood and you're trying to do a repair, the nice thing about gel stain is you can put it on and then you can come back with denature or mineral spirits, and then you could just pretty much clean it off entirely. And so I like that about it, that you can, it's tough to go wrong with the gel stain because it's very forgiving in terms of being part of a process. So I'm going to put the lid back on this dude. And then I'm going to start wiping these guys back. Didn't quite give me the coverage I was looking for. My other option would have been to do tobacco colored pigment in a shellac, which I may still do to darken this up. Either that or I just don't wipe it back as much. And I was going to say, I could do like multiple coats, I think. I'm trying to just preserve the cork there. So I'm going to leave these out, give them a chance to dry. And then, yeah, I may do like a solid pigmented shellac over these guys to get them darker because the ash is so dense. But I was hoping it'd be more like this tone. And stay that tone, but I don't know. The lines are kind of cool from the grain. They may actually add a little bit of visual interest to the piece. But I definitely have legs now for my dresser. So there you go. I might come back with either more candlelight or some some nutmeg. Nutmeg is pretty close to this, just a little bit darker. Um, and so that would give me a little bit closer to walnut. This is clearly not walnut with all this striping, but I don't know. Kind of looks like zebra wood with a tan. So I don't hate it. But, it's up to you however you want to run your show. Like I said, I could let this dry and then I could come back and put another coat and just build it to a darker brown. And then just put a little bit of armor seal or some kind of oil-based finish. But nothing left to do, but it's just going to be a clear top coat after this. I don't sand it. I usually just throw on whatever the protective finish is after a little while. Check your can for directions. And humidity and where you live makes a difference. So anyways, this is done for now. I'm just going to put a clear coat on them, and then I'll show you what the dresser looks like with the legs on it.